You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Wednesday, July 14th. I'm Tarai Trott, and thanks for joining us tonight. The government has been urged to reconsider restoring regular ferry service to and from St. George's to ensure large numbers of visitors have an easy way to access the East End. The call comes from Tia Smith, the approved One Bermuda Lions candidate for St. George's North. She spoke to me today after an arrangement to ferry passengers from the Viking Orion ship to the Old Town had to be scrapped due to weather and financial reasons.
Do you believe that if we had regular ferry service to the east, that would play into this conversation we're having now?
Yes, it does. I mean, it's kind of adjacent. It's not all one issue. So there is the tendering issue, which is a logistical nightmare. We know that. St. George's people definitely know that. We've had other cases, other times where this has had to happen, and it's been unwieldy for both the cruise passengers and the tendering people, or company, I should say. But the main issue really is the lack of a East End ferry. Now, obviously, we've had one before, so it's for people in St. George's and for most of the island who are looking at this issue, it doesn't make much sense that this can't be put back on, I should say.
You stated that the people of St. George's feel as if they've been left in the dark, so to speak. But I should point out the transport minister did come on our newscast this Monday and reveal that government had been able to secure roughly 90% of the foot traffic that was anticipated for St. George's, secure that foot traffic to go to St. George's regardless, using other methods, including ground transportation.
Yeah, and most of that was land transportation, which, as you can imagine, the limitations, spatial limitations on busing, mini busing, or other types of transportation.
While acknowledging the Ministry of Transport's workaround to supply ship passengers to the Old Town using land transport options, including buses, Ms. Smith believes that ferries would have been more effective.
Now, you can put on special buses, but there's only so many buses that the island has. So even with the concessions that they've made, and I will right now thank the government for, going out of their way to do that, at least, it still is an issue. You're still having people not wanting to wait, deciding that, St. George's just isn't enough of pull for them to go to the trouble of getting on a bus, waiting for a bus, waiting for everything else. It's still an issue. The ferry would alleviate that.
You believe the ferry option would have been more effective?
Correct, yes. And that's literally based on numbers. And, the one thing I should say is that this isn't just a tourist issue. This is an issue that St. George's has been dealing with for a long time. Even when we did have the ferries, they didn't come often enough. They they only came at certain times. It was very hard to use them for stuff like getting to work and stuff like that. So you found that, or St. George's people found ways to get around the island without having to use the ferries. And that's just, public transportation should be public.
Has business in the Old Town picked up or been revived since the opening of the new St. Regis Resort? What are business operators telling you?
So the business operators are telling me that basically they are seeing more foot traffic, not so much from St. Regis, but just in general. There is a bit more life in St. George's. Now, that might be just because the St. George's is open back up, just like the rest of the island. I know there's been a lot of really vibrant nightlife. I'm not sure if nightlife's the right word. There's been quite a few restaurants that have been pulling people to St. George's. I won't name names, but I'm sure everyone knows which ones I'm talking about. And, there's a lot of people moving to St. George's. There's a lot of new families coming to St. George's. So don't get me wrong, there is some revitalization in St. George's, but we want more.